This is Donald Trump speaking on board Air Force One.
But we're looking at it very seriously. The military is looking at it, and we're looking at some very strong options. We'll make a determination.
Which options have you been briefed on? Are you meeting with senior?
But why would I tell you that? I'm going to tell you the.
Are you meeting with your
Am I going to really? Are you asking me to say what will they do? Where will we attack? When? And at what angle will we attack from? Who are you with?
I'm with the U.S. White House TV pool. I'm wondering, are you being briefed on
What network are you with?
I'm with CNN, sir.
Well, why don't you just say I'm with CNN? She says I'm with the White House pool, and I say what? You're with CNN. You're with
CNN,
you're
yes.
with fake news. Because CNN is fake news. Go ahead, give me a question.
Can I ask how you're balancing and how you're deciding your response, the balance between helping protesters versus hindering them? Because I imagine that's a delicate balance to strike.
Well, we're going to see. I mean, some of the protesters were killed through the stampeding. I mean, you know, there's so many of them, and some were shot. We're getting a full report. I'm getting an hourly report, and we're going to make a determination. Yeah, go ahead. Well, no, people have been shot, and we're looking at it. Yeah, please. I may go at some point. Yeah, sure. We're doing well. Venezuela is really working out well. We're working along really well with the leadership, and we'll see how it all works out. At some point I'll meet. Yeah, she's been very good. Look, she asked us, can we take 50 million barrels of oil? And I said, yes, we can. It's $4.2 billion. And it's on its way right now to the United States.
When will you be with China?
I'm looking for something to grab here. Because it's going to get rough, and I don't seem to be in a very, I think you did this to me. You put me in a position where there's absolutely nothing to grab.
Mr. President.
So I'm looking for something to grab, and it's not going to be Caroline.
Sir, have any oil companies made commitments to you, sir? Have any oil companies made commitments to the United States after your meeting on Thursday?
A lot of them, yeah.
Which has it have an Exxon?
Well, I don't want to say. No, I didn't like Exxon's response. You know, we have so many that want it. I'd probably be inclined to keep Exxon out. I didn't like their response. They're playing too cute.
What backstops or guarantees have you told the oil companies?
Well, we're going to have guarantees that they're going to be safe, that there's going to be no problem, and there won't be. There's not going to be a problem. They had problems in the past because they didn't have Trump as a president. They had stupid people.
Sir, Iran said that they would consider
Talk
a
up.
deal.
What kind of deal are you looking for from Cuba? What kind of deal are you looking for from Cuba?
You're going to find out pretty soon. We're talking to Cuba, and you'll find out pretty soon. And one of the things I want taken care of, and one of the groups I want taken care of, are the people that came from Cuba that were forced out or left under duress, and they're great citizens of the United States right now. You have a lot of people forced out of Cuba unfairly, so we're going to take care of, most importantly right now, we're going to take care of the people that came from Cuba that are American citizens or in our country.
Are you going to plan to seize any oil tankers that are headed to Cuba?
Well, we have a lot of oil people really interested. You saw that the other day. That was just a small group because the room in the White House, we need the ballroom, actually. We could have filled up the ballroom practically. We have so many people that want to go in for oil. So you saw some great companies.
Are you going to send Starlink to Iran, sir, to help the people on the ground? With the internet blackout for more than 70
Well, we're going to be talking about that. We may get the internet going, if that's possible.
Are you talking to us?
We may speak to Elon, because as you know, he's very good at that kind of thing. He's got a very good company. So we may speak to Elon Musk. And in fact, I'm going to call him as soon as I'm finished with you.
Just quickly, Iran said that they would consider military and commercial bases as legitimate targets if you struck. Are you concerned
Well, if they
about...
do that, we'll consider things targets that they wouldn't believe. If they do that, we will hit them at levels that they've never been hit before. And they won't even believe it.
Do you think
I have options that are so strong. So, I mean, if they did that, it'll be met with a very, very powerful force.
Do you think Iran takes your threats seriously?
I think so. Don't you think so? CNN. Don't you think so? Wouldn't you say that they probably do at this point? After going through it for years with me, being hit, Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, the Iran nuclear threat wiped out. Don't you think, and then you just had Venezuela, don't you think, she says, CNN, do you think they take your threat seriously? Wouldn't you say they do after all of the things we've done? What a stupid question.
Sir, are you coordinating with allies on the response?
I am, yeah.
Sir,
Mr. President, when will you meet with Maria Machado this week?
I don't know. I hear Tuesday or Wednesday. I look forward to that.
have you named your board of peace for Gaza yet? Where do those plans
Well, we have a
stand?
board of peace that's being formed, but essentially it's the most important leaders of the most important nations. All nations, but the most important, you take the most important leaders and nations, that's who the board of peace is going to be. Everybody wants to be on it.
Sir, one group taking your threat seriously is Greenland. One area taking
Who are you with?
the New York Post.
Well, I like the New York Post. New York Post treats me semi-fairly. So go ahead.
One group taking your threats very seriously is Greenland. Are you still thinking of military action there, or is it
On where? Military action?
Greenland.
Greenland? Is there anything they can offer you
Look,
for a deal?
if we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will. And I'm not letting that happen.
Is there
If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will take Greenland. And I am not going to let that
Is
happen.
there any deal they can offer you? Either like
Yeah, sure, I'd love to make a deal with them. It's easier. But one way or the other, we're going to have Greenland.
Are you okay if that compromises NATO? If NATO effectively ceases to...
Well, I think I've done a great job. I'm the one that saved NATO. I'm the one that got them to pay 5% of GDP. Wait a minute. It was 2%, and they didn't pay. Now they're paying 5%. I'm the one that saved NATO. You wouldn't have NATO if I weren't president.
Would you pull the U.S. out of NATO? Would you consider doing that?
Well, maybe NATO would be upset if I did it. Maybe NATO would save a lot of money. But I like NATO. You know, I just wonder whether or not if we needed NATO, would they be there for us? I'm not sure they would. You know, we spend a lot of money on NATO, and I'm not sure they would.
But what would you say
Now,
to-
what's happened is, as you know, Sleepy Joe Biden gave $350 billion to Ukraine and got nothing for it. I got rare earth back. I got, I think, value back far greater than that. And that's what he should have done. Now, if you look at what's going on with respect to NATO, we have a very good relationship. 5% GDP, and they pay us. We send them military equipment, and they pay us back the full cost of the equipment. The war, we make money with the war, but I don't even want to talk about that. I want to save the lives. They're Russian and Ukrainian lives. I want to save the lives. It's the only reason I'm doing it. This is Biden's war. Should have never happened. Would have never happened if I were president. This is Biden's war. It's not Trump's war. All I can do is stop it. And I think we're making progress toward stopping it, which would be number 9 1/4. You know what the quarter is, right? Right? Thailand and Cambodia went at it again, but I got it stopped very quick. I consider that 1/4 of a war.
When was the last time you made to pull over to Greenland yet?
No, I'm not. I haven't done that, but Greenland should make the deal because Greenland does not want to see Russia or China take over. They don't go there. It's very far away from Greenland. And Greenland, basically, their defense is 2 dog sleds. Do you know that? You know what their defense is? 2 dog sleds. In the meantime, you have Russian destroyers and submarines and China destroyers and submarines all over the place. We're not going to let that happen.
In the meantime, are you going
And
to...
if it affects NATO, then it affects NATO. But, you know, they need us much more than we need them. I will tell you that right now.
Are you going to increase the amount of military...
That's a war that should have never happened with Ukraine.
The UK and Germany are discussing plans for a joint NATO mission to protect Arctic security in Greenland. Does that change your calculus at all? In terms
No,
of
look,
acquiring?
we're talking about acquiring, not leasing, not having it short term. We're talking about acquiring.
Does that require
And
the U.S.
and
to
if we don't do it, Russia or China will, and that's not going to happen when I'm president.
Are you going to increase the amount of military bases on Greenland in the meantime?
Well, we have bases on Greenland.
Are
Yeah,
you going to make more?
I could put a lot of soldiers there right now if I want, but you need more than that. You need ownership. You really have. You really need title, as they say in the real estate
Sir,
business.
on Minneapolis, your administration has advocated
everyone's seen it. And the woman was very violent. She's a very radical person. Very sad what happened. Her friend was very radical. Go or drive. And
define that.
well, I'm going to let the people define it. But immunity, you know what immunity means as well as I do.
So that officer
But
should be back on the
people
force?
can't be treating law enforcement that way, whether it's ICE or Border Patrol or our police and men and women. You can't do that. We have, the law enforcement in our country is doing really well, despite the fact that Sleepy Joe Biden allowed people to pour through an open border. Crime stats just came out. We have the best crime stats on record, despite all the criminals he allowed into our country. We've gotten a lot of them out. We have to respect our law enforcement. At a very minimum, that woman was very, very disrespectful to law enforcement. And you heard the same noises. You saw the same crunch that I saw. You can't do that with law enforcement, whether it's police or ICE or Border Patrol or anybody else.
When it comes to ICE officials,
Yeah.
though, Mr. President, well, just to clarify on the absolute immunity, do you believe ICE officers should have absolute immunity?
Well, no, if somebody is obviously crazy and does something wrong, no. But generally speaking, I mean, these people have been harassed and threatened every day. They had bands out playing so they couldn't sleep at the hotel. I see what they're doing to them. They're threatening them constantly. And all they're doing is doing what I got elected on. We had millions of people that came into our country that are horrible people that shouldn't be in our country. They're murderers, they're drug dealers, they're people from mental institutions, they're the criminally insane, they're people from prisons. They were allowed to come into our country because Biden was a stupid person, and the people surrounding him, very smart, very vicious, but they have no common sense, and they're radicalized people. They're radical left people, not radical right. They're radical left people. And all they're doing is what I campaigned on. I won in a landslide. We won all 7 swing states. We won the popular vote. We won the districts. We won everything. We won the counties. We won the counties by 79%, I believe. I campaigned on a great border, and now we have a great border. But Biden let 25 million people come into this country, and many of those people are criminals, including 11,888 murderers. And we want them out. And I won on that. Now people don't talk about it because the border is so secure. Nobody wants to talk about it anymore. The border was one of the reasons I won the election. I've done such a good job on it that nobody wants to talk about it anymore. The border is totally secure. And now the crime stats just came out, and they're the best numbers since they were taken, and that's like 50 years ago. We have the best crime numbers, despite the fact that a lot of criminals were allowed into our country.
Do you think that
We have to respect our law enforcement.
Do you believe that deadly force was necessary after watching all the footage a few days have passed? What's your assessment there?
It was highly disrespectful of law enforcement. The woman and her friend were highly disrespectful of law enforcement. You saw that. They were harassing them, were following for days and for hours. And I think, frankly, they're professional agitators.
But does disrespect
And I'd like to
mean that
find out,
deadly
and we
force-
are going to find out who's paying for it,
But does disrespect
with their brand new signs and all the different things. But these are professional agitators, and law enforcement should not be in a position where they have to put up with this stuff. What that woman and what her friend and what their other friends were doing to law enforcement, not just ICE, law enforcement is outrageous.
Do ICE officials and even your...
Can you tell us about your trip to Detroit on Tuesday?
I'm going to be making a trip to Detroit to talk about our unbelievable amount of factories that are opening up all over the country, many of which are car factories and car plants. We have manufacturing plants opening up at levels that nobody's ever seen before because of tariffs. If we didn't have tariffs, you wouldn't have them opening, although they were very happy with the November 5th election. But we have, from Canada they're coming, from Mexico they're coming, from Germany, from Japan, from all over Europe, and from Japan, other places, and from China. They're opening up car factories, car manufacturing plants at levels that we've never seen before. So I'm going to Detroit because they're going to be opening up plants in Detroit or redoing plants, but they're really ripping down old plants and building new. We're the hottest country right now anywhere in the world. I mean, think of it. A year and a half ago, we were a dead country, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Mr. President, the House passed a 3-year extension of the ACA. It's in the Senate. If it passed the Senate, would you veto it or allow it to?
I might, yeah, I might.
Sir, do you have any information about the suspicious object that was found at Palm Beach International Airport
No.
before takeoff?
I know nothing about it.
Okay, and back on Iran, the Ayatollah said that he thinks that the protesters are trying to, quote, please you. Do you see it that way? What's your message to the Iranian people?
I don't know that they're trying to please me. They named a boulevard after me, but that's pretty pleasing. But I don't think they're trying to please. I think they just want peace. They want to have freedom. The protesters are after freedom. Iran has not allowed freedom for a long time. And the protesters, I don't think they're trying to appease me. They're trying to get somebody to help them. They're under siege. And now it looks like they're being shot, which is a very bad thing.
Is the administration in contact with the Iranian opposition leaders as this is unfolding?
Yeah.
What's the message to them?
Yeah. You're going to find out pretty soon.
You said that help is on.
Yeah, go ahead. With the beautiful red hair.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We're coming up with the premiere of Melania. Have you seen the movie yet? What are your thoughts on it?
I've seen pieces of it. It's incredible, I tell you. I think it's going to do very, she did a book, and the book was a big #1 bestseller, and this is a movie, and it seems to be captivating a lot of people's attention. It's very good. Because here we go again. Yeah, it's going to be doing the premiere at the Trump Kennedy Center. It'll be very exciting. It's a very hard ticket, I can tell you. Everybody, Wayne Gretzky and his wife Janet, beautiful wife, great wife. They said last night, gee, I want to go to everybody wants tickets to the premiere. I think it's going to be great.
Mr. President, is there any timing on the mortgage bond purchases you announced last week?
On the what? Mortgage?
Mortgage bond purchases by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac?
No, they're already doing it. They've started. Yeah, they started the process. And it's having a great impact. Interest rates are falling very rapidly. Not only for that reason, for other reasons too, but interest rates are falling very rapidly. With no help from the Fed, because we have a total stiff at the Fed.
Can I ask you, the announcement on the cap on credit card interest rates
Yeah.
put out on Friday, what happens if the credit card companies don't comply by the January date?
Well, then they're in violation of the law.
Did you have congressional
Very
support?
severe things. No, I want a cap on credit card interest rates because some of them are 28, almost 30%, and that the people don't know they're paying 30%. The people out there, they're working and they have no idea that they're paying 30%. No way. We're putting a 1-year cap at 10%, and that's it. They know it. They've really abused the public. The credit card companies have totally abused it. I'm not going to let it happen.
You said something willingness from Iran to engage diplomatically with you, or perhaps negotiate on nuclear program.
With Iran?
Yeah, do you think they want to engage diplomatically with you?
They do. They called
They called you?
yesterday.
Is it still an option?
Iran called to negotiate.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. The leaders of Iran called. They want to negotiate. I think they're tired of being beat up by the United States.
Can you share any details on that call?
Iran wants to negotiate, yes.
Negotiate what?
We may meet with them. I mean, a meeting is being set up. But we may have to act because of what's happening before the meeting.
Right.
But a meeting is being set up. Iran called. They want to negotiate. Thank you very much, everybody.
What are you going to do?
Be careful. A lot of bumps.
What's your plan for East Potomac? Are you going to renovate the golf course?
Yeah, we're going to make it a beautiful world-class U.S. Open caliber course, and ideally we're going to have major tournaments there and everything else. It's going to bring a lot of business into Washington. By the way, the crime stats just came out on Washington, D.C. There is virtually no crime. It's gone from tremendous crime, murder, and everything else. There's virtually no crime in Washington, D.C. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
That's the US President Donald Trump speaking on board Air Force One. We heard a lot more there about his thinking when it comes to Iran. He's been asked about what options are being considered. The president threatening to use the military if needed and saying it would be a powerful force. He's also talked about potentially using Elon Musk's Starlink to help break through the internet blackout in the country as we see these growing anti-government protests. We're also monitoring for that other big breaking story, the Justice Department investigation into Jerome Powell. At this stage, the president claiming he doesn't know anything about it. So we'll bring you more on that as it comes into the newsroom.